Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today on Nigeria Today Live. On today's episode of Tech and Gadgets Corner, my name is Olusegun Olabode Ajakai, Head of Sales, Uranos Technology. It's such a pleasure to always have you all join us today. And thank you so much for taking our time to watch us and also follow us through the different episodes and segments that we've been anchoring over time. And the reason why today's topic strikes a chord within me is because I'm a parent, and as a father, I believe that I need to protect my kids, especially when they find them where they're exposed to the internet world or in the internet age or the digital age. And today's episode, we'll be talking about safety tips for protecting our kids or our children in the digital age. And it's important as parents that we need to take conscious effort around how can we protect them from the world out there? How can we protect them from the digital age or the digital space where we find ourselves? It's a fast evolving era that we are in currently. And we need to be able to take conscious effort around how are we making sure that we're putting necessary measures around protecting them and making sure that our kids are not exposed to certain vices that happen within the public space, within the internet space. And it's important that we parents need to take conscious effort, and I mean conscious effort around making sure that we track whatever they are doing, either on YouTube, on WhatsApp, on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, in any group they find themselves. Parents need to be able to have the discussion with their kids around what kind of movies are you watching, what kind of information are you digesting out there. And it's important that we need to have those conversations around those critical questions, ask them those questions so that you'll be able to know what they are filtering and what they are getting access to at the end of the day. As parents as well too, do you know that for you to if you're setting up your device for your son or for your daughter or for your kids, you can have access to whatever they are watching, because before they get access to a particular site, it will request your approval to give them access to those sites. Now, there's something we call parental control, which I feel most parents are actually aware of. So imagine you're setting up a Gmail account for them. You as a parent, who is the primary contact, will set up the device for them and give them access to be able to, access certain information within the public space. Now, you can check the history of whatever they have watched. So parents need to take conscious effort around checking the history of what have they watched when you were not there. And at the end of the day, it helps you also be abreast of what you need to do to help protect these little ones at the end of the day. Why it matters. Have those hard conversations with them. Educate them around how to, what they need to do to protect themselves. What they need to do when they are exposed to cyber criminals. What they need to do around protecting information that is private to you as their parents. Now, a perfect example is this. Imagine your child is probably in the room or in the living room or somewhere in the house and doing a TikTok video. And in the process of doing a TikTok video, maybe a 360 video, it captures a particular document on the table which you don't want them to be private to. Now, as a parent, all you need to do is to educate your child around, before you click posts or send, check your surrounding. Make sure that certain critical information that people within the public space will not use against us as a family. Because you need to let them understand the fact that when you post it, you're not the only one exposed to such acts. You are also putting the lives of those who are your loved ones in danger. Now, at the end of the day, we need to have that open communication with our kids. Educate them on how they can have a safe space to trust you as a parent, to share those information with you at the end of the day. Now, we need to give them safety tips on how they can protect themselves in this digital age. At the end of the day, it helps you because they will be conscious and also be able to protect your privacy when they are pushing information out there in the public. Now, I'll be sharing some tips we need to take into conscious effort around as parents. And number one, open communication, which is very, very important. Have those communication with your kids. Educate them. Let them know. If you have to take, some samples of videos on the internet, go out and spool those information for them to see. Number two, privacy protection. It is very, very important. They should not share certain data or information that pertains to the family in the public space or in that WhatsApp group. Even if the people that are probably chatting with them are their close friends, they should be very, very conscious of certain privacy protection that they need to be aware of to protect the family and to protect your own name at the end of the day. Now, thirdly, is to have conversations around screen time. Screen time and content monitoring. It is very, very key. I'll be sharing 5 tips. Screen time and content monitoring. It is very, very key as parents. Have those conversations around them. Another thing we need to do as parents is to educate them around cyberbullying awareness. Let them know that there are cyberbullies out there, especially on X. If your kids are exposed to X or even on Instagram, you'll see some comments that are very, very direct and actually not good for kids or not good for anyone to be exposed to. Have those conversations with them. And also, the important aspect that we need to also educate our kids around is digital footprint education. Tell them the internet never forgets. The internet never forgets. And like I always say, think before you act. Think before you click and think before you share. I want to take those points again. The first thing is with respect to having open communication with your kids, screen time monitoring and content sharing monitoring, privacy protection, cyberbullying awareness, and digital footprints education. I hope you've been able to learn 1 or 2 things today, and please protect those little ones from cyberbullying and say no to cyberbullying. And I hope you've been able to learn from us today. Follow us on our social media platform at Galaxy TV. Feel free to also follow me on LinkedIn as well too at Olusegun Olabode Ajakaye. And on X, I am Bode of Lagos. Thank you for watching us today, and we look forward to seeing you next in our next episode. Thank you.